You hear me?
Just enjoying the music back there, Lynette. You just
I
enjoying
said,
the music.
I've always got a lot on my mind.
I know. Glad to have you. I think that song popped in and popped out right on time. Great to have you on. It's just it's just it's a pleasure, man, to be on with you and to share the platform and just kind of get everybody's energy up. I know we're almost at 500. We'll be over 500 here shortly. But what's on your mind tonight, right? We're just going to get right into it, but this presence we have on here. I mean, there's people all over the world on here from every corner, and it's amazing to see, the vision that you put forth over the last 3 or so years. There's something special happening. It's something unprecedented. I keep saying it, and I just can't wait. For the time. Really, that's the only variable in what we're dealing with right now. That it's just that time just needs to just come a little closer, right? You're looking at 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 6 months. The end of the year, 2025. I just know we're going to be doing some special things here with this project that you created. Now, you and the dev team, and y'all put this together. Y'all been through the trials and the ups and the downs and the good and the bad. And, because of your heart and because of your vision and because of what you understand about this technology, you're doing it all the right way. And we're going to benefit from that as a whole, as a community, as a collective. So it's my pleasure to share the platform and just host it for you tonight. I know you want to take it away. I hope you have sharing capabilities, your co-hosting and all that good stuff is set up. We're ready to rock and roll. Appreciate you spending time and addressing the community tonight and all the new members. There's a lot of new people on tonight too. They're raising their hand in the chat, so they want to hear from you. So we appreciate everything you do. We know you could be doing a lot of other things, but to address us and to give us, your vision and to give us updates and to keep us abreast of what's going on, because we're all very excited. We're grateful for that. So take it away. Stage is yours. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I think I'm as addicted to this as everybody else is. Kind of fun. So I got lots of stuff to go over tonight. Hopefully, I'm not going to bore everybody. I don't have any fancy presentation with all the nice fancy pictures and stuff. It's just a lot of words, but I am going to start right out and share my screen. First thing I'm going to share with you guys before I get into the presentation is a spreadsheet that I think is pretty amazing for everybody to see. So we've been mining officially for 55 days. We started on August 1st. And this is what I think is or should really excite people. So far, between the daily distribution, we started out with 320,000 MoveQuest in circulation, 220,000 that was done through the liquidity raise 2 weeks prior to listing, and then the 100,000 that was listed with MoveQuest. And that would put us at a total of 400 and to date, through September 24th, 457,500 MoveQuest that should be in circulation. However, the evolution has purchased 204,782 MoveQuest tokens that are no longer circulating, but are back in the vault and will be added as liquidity in the future paired to USDT when you don't see so much selling pressure or what I like to call overselling on the market. I've got my video shut off, you guys, because of my internet. Sometimes it takes up so much data resources that it makes it hard for people to hear me. I start breaking up. So that's why I shut my video off. The minting MoveQuest, this right here, I love this. 42,308 have been returned to the vault and won't be in circulation until the year 2060. So that's awesome as well. Total MoveQuests that are being held in wallets, user wallets, is 260,723. So this is all really exciting stuff to be able to share. So now I am going to get right into the presentation because I really wanted to give everybody some updates. I think it's important. There's a lot of, I like to call them armchair critics and self-proclaimed crypto experts. And I find that 99.9% of them, anybody that's here on this call, to be quite honest with you, you guys are all crypto experts and you could do a blanket review on anything you want and call it a scam and a project that'll fail because that's all those other people do. They don't go in and research anything. So I'm going to break it all down for everybody. Hopefully it explains it to you guys, and then you guys can blast this out everywhere. And especially if somebody gives it a review based on lack of knowledge of this project, this is going to arm you with what you need, basically to discount what they're saying, because nobody has created anything like this ever. And so it's quite different. And so when they review it and then they don't really, hold on here, I got to get this video thing off of my, there we go. I can't do the presentation with all these controls and everything else everywhere. All right, let me play this now. So this will give you the ammunition that you need. So MoveQuest, it's dynamic, it's explosive, and it's life-changing. We're going to start out with the minting of the miners. This is the first piece in order to, launch into the ecosystem. You have to mint these miners. This is how you get started. This is where your journey begins. This is an external process, okay? This takes place outside of the main ecosystem. And this is important to understand because it shows that the success of MoveQuest does not rely on constant inflows of new money. As you'll hear your armchair critics, say this multiple times. Unlike your pyramid or your Ponzi schemes, this project ensures that new participants are not funding earlier users. Instead, it's building a strong and active community. Okay, that's the foundation for the long-term success. So yes, are we building the community? Absolutely. The peer-to-peer community is extremely important, and it is the community that drives the market value of the token. You go to the exchange, you purchase the MoveQuest, you come back and you mint those miners. However, none of that money, none of that MoveQuest is used at all within the ecosystem. It has three key purposes, the minting of that miner. One, you mine the MoveQuest using that proof of physical activity. So you need these miners, okay, to participate in the ecosystem and to be able to mine the MoveQuest with your proof of physical activity. Without a miner, you can't plug it into the mining dock and you can't mine the MoveQuest. You won't be able to generate any hashes. Okay, the other purpose when you are minting those miners is you are earning a commission if you share this project with others. Okay, so that's helping us to expand the community, and then we reward the participants fairly, right, with that MoveQuest. And the third is that it supports the long-term sustainability of this project. When you mint the miners, the remaining amount of MoveQuest that isn't used to pay those commissions is returned back to the vault. This is going to ensure that a supply for future mining is available through the year 2060 and beyond. So the tokenomics of MoveQuest mirror Bitcoin. And in the year 2059, all 21 million MoveQuests will have been mined and in circulation. But from minting these miners, that's 60% of the MoveQuest that goes back to the vault. This is the mechanism that's contributing to the ecosystem sustainability over the long haul. One, it's decreasing the supply, and two, it's going to make sure that there's still MoveQuest being able to be mined past the year 2059. The max supply of MoveQuest is 21 million, just like Bitcoin. 2,628,000 MoveQuests are distributed annually for the first 4 years. Every 4 years, the distribution undergoes a 50% halving. Okay, so that means in the fifth year, it'll be half of the 2.6 million. So it'll be 1.3 million, and that will be distributed once, through the daily distribution for 4 years, and then it'll go through another 50% halving. And this will take place until all 21 million are in circulation. So the maximum supply, like I said, is going to be fully distributed in the year 2059. Now we recycle MoveQuest versus burning. So starting in 2060, previously distributed MoveQuest that was returned to the vault from minting will be recycled and mined again, re-entering circulation. So our recycling mechanism, I prefer this over token burning because it avoids artificially inflating the token's market value. It also ensures long-term sustainability and availability of the MoveQuest token. We have already returned 42,308 MoveQuest to the vault. So the redistributed MoveQuest extends the mining for an additional 28 years already. So where the 21 million takes us to the year 2059, already from what's been removed from the community minting miners is going to extend the mining from the year 2060 to the year 2087. How many of you on this call will still be alive? I know I won't be. I'm pretty sure anyway, unless something miracle happens, we get to live well beyond our years of 100, right? So this is going to extend mining well beyond most of our lives right now. Now, what I want to share with you is what this means in value. So right now, if I was go to the exchange and I wanted to buy 1,000 MoveQuest at the current market value, which is now hovering around the $59 to the $62 range, would cost me $62,690. That would take the new value to $62.67. Now, we've removed 42,000. There are not even 42,000 MoveQuest available in the pool. There's only 24,000 plus. Okay, less than 25,000, but roughly 24,000, probably 500-ish. So at the current market value of $59.97, if we wanted to go and put a market value on the 42,000 that's already been removed, if somebody went to the exchange and purchased all 24,000 MoveQuests that are there, it would cost $62,779,300. Okay, it would also give a new market value to MoveQuest of $2,602. Now think about that for a second. Wow, you guys are overselling on the market. You got to understand, right now there's a selling pressure, and I've had all kinds of things coming at me. Oh, these must be bots or people are gaming the system. No, these are actual miners who are selling their MoveQuest, which is great, but it's creating that selling pressure. And so you're seeing that, price come down, but what it's telling you, it's giving you a story, right? It's telling you that the current community is happy at this price point. They're happy to sell at the current market value. And until that changes, that selling pressure is going to remain. But the exciting part of this is that 42,308 MoveQuest tokens have been removed. And so those weren't sold, those didn't re-enter circulation, they went back to the vault. And so if they hadn't, and let's say the project, like other projects do, they take that as their profit, they'd go sell it, that would have drove the market value down even further. That doesn't happen here. Never, ever, ever, I sound like Sean Hannity, never, ever, 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 ever does the project sell the MoveQuest tokens. It's not even given to me or any of the admins, customer support, the development team, the design team. Nobody ever gets MoveQuest. It's never sold at any capacity in this project unless it's been mined or purchased. Okay, so it's never given back to be sold. So what I'm trying to show you is that you can see the substantial value that is actually added to the pool through the tokens that are already returned to the vault. Since the pool does not contain the 42,308 MoveQuest available for purchase, I just used the 24,000 MoveQuest as a reference. Okay, so you guys could calculate and see this value. So there is significant value when you mint those miners because it's removing it from circulation. And this is balancing out that supply and demand. Right now, the community is overselling. And so there's a higher supply than what the demand is for the token. So you're going to see that market value come down, but that's on the community. The project has got all of these mechanisms in place to keep it stable, based on what the community is doing. So the project itself, it's not going to drive that market value up. It's going to sustain it where the community says, hey, this is the price we like. So I just want you guys to really absorb this and kind of understand how all of these dynamics work. So that's the entry, okay? Getting started with GetFit, minting those miners. It does not have anything to do with paying anybody that's already here and existing. No pyramid or Ponzi scheme. So when they come back and they tell you this or you see a review, you can debunk it. It doesn't exist. It is simply a removal function of the MoveQuest to balance and counter the supply and demand and to make sure that beyond the year 2059, people will still be able to mine the MoveQuest token. So now let's get into the evolution and what that means and how it works. The evolution of the miners, and we're going to talk about the role of the USDT. So in MoveQuest, evolving your miners is the key way for users to increase their mining power and mine higher MoveQuest rewards. So one important aspect of this process is that the project never sells the MoveQuest tokens. And this is why we use the USDT in the evolution. The evolution is a very strong part of this project. So when you evolve your miners using the USDT, it provides the USDT for the liquidity. So what it does is it can go buy that MoveQuest with that USDT, bring that MoveQuest back, pair it to the USDT, and then add it to the liquidity pool. This way it doesn't have to sell MoveQuest to buy USDT. And this is why this part uses the USDT. It increases the liquidity. Okay, it's always adding more liquidity. It strengthens the token stability and it allows for smoother market operations. If it's a real low amount of liquidity, you're going to see major market value swings. You're going to see it go up really high. You're going to see it come down really low when there's high amounts of buying or selling. And so with this liquidity provision, when those miners are being evolved, it can go buy MoveQuest, or if there's not the overselling going on, it doesn't have to buy the MoveQuest. It can take what the evolution is already holding, and it's holding over 200,000 MoveQuest tokens, and it can pair what it's already holding to the USDT and essentially double what it can add to liquidity. So when the community starts to understand how to support the project, I mean, this is important, guys. It's economics. It's basic economics, and it's really not even taught in schools anymore. Like our kids don't really learn economics, but it's all pure economics. And common sense, of course, plays a part of it. And I'm not telling you guys what to do. Do what you want. Sell away if you want, but understand that if you start to pay attention to the market and you start to base your selling habits on what the market is telling you you need to do, you will start to see massive amounts of liquidity being added instead of it having to buy up the excess MoveQuest. I'm telling you, it's bought up a ton of it already. 200 and some thousand MoveQuest tokens it's already purchased. It's sitting on a ton. So that's millions and millions and millions of dollars of liquidity sitting there. Think about it. Just 24,000 MoveQuest is $62 million. It's sitting on 204,000 MoveQuest. Do the math. That's massive liquidity that it's already sitting on. So those of you who are holding, that right there is proof enough that the longevity and the stability of this project is major. Major stability here. It's holding 204,000 MoveQuest tokens that can never be sold and can only be added as liquidity. That's hundreds of millions of dollars in liquidity already. Stability here. It's just needing the USDT to pair to it. So when the community backs off on the selling of the MoveQuest, then you're going to really see a robust liquidity pool start coming into play. But the community will decide when that is an appropriate time. Those of you who are holding, you're holding out for that. That's going to stabilize those millions of dollars that you're making in the future because that's where the liquidity is coming in at. So I'm hoping you guys are understanding what I'm explaining to you right here. It's huge. Now we're going to talk about the role the evolution plays in managing the liquidity, and it prevents market manipulation. I hear a lot of people say these are whales. I'm telling you right now, people who are holding a few thousand MoveQuest and selling it right now are not whales. Okay. They're just an inconvenience to the liquidity pool, but they are not a whale. Whales really don't exist here. There's nobody holding enough tokens that could empty the liquidity. Not one person holds enough tokens that could drain the liquidity pool. Not one person, not even me. I'm the creator of the project and I don't even hold that many. So what I want to explain to you is how the evolution manages the liquidity, preventing market manipulation. And it's not even a good pool for bots, okay? The few dollars they might make, it's not going to hurt the pool either. So in addition to increasing the mining power and rewards, the evolution has a critical role in managing the liquidity within the MoveQuest ecosystem. This, okay, I've designed this purposely to protect the project from market manipulation, particularly from whale trading and trading bots, while also enhancing the value of the MoveQuest for all the holders. And here's how it works. The evolution can do a liquidity removal for market correction. Cannot do a liquidity removal, okay, to hand out to anybody. It's a short-term removal. So during the evolution during the removal of liquidity from the pool, it only happens when the move quest has been oversold. This is preventing the excess tokens from flooding the market, and it stabilizes the token's price. Okay, so when you see a removal, you can also go back. Anything that ends in that C06, that's connected to the evolution contract. You can go look at what the additions and the removals are, okay? And so if it's removing, it's simply pulling out excess MoveQuest token, and then it will use a percentage of that liquidity USDT to buy more MoveQuest token. And then it will take a percentage of that MoveQuest token, it will pair it to the remaining USDT, and it'll inject it back as liquidity. And so it's correcting that market, that overselling. It's re-injecting that liquidity with the MoveQuest buybacks. And so that is one of the operations of the evolution contract. It also prevents whale manipulation and bot trading. Okay, by managing the liquidity this way, the project is preventing the selling, the heavy selling, and it's also protecting it from heavy manipulation. So this mechanism is ensuring that no single entity can significantly impact the price. And this is providing fairness and stability for all the holders. You guys have seen it happen already. So when somebody comes in, they're trying to manipulate the market, plain and simple. They come in and they'll sell what? $150,000, $200,000 worth of their MoveQuest tokens, but the evolution contract will immediately correct it. And what ends up happening is it recorrects the price. What these people are doing when they see this, and it's to me, I laugh, I love watching it. But here's what they think, because this is what happens in all your other projects, because none of your projects are designed this way. There's not one single project that's designed on the market like this. The minute you see a heavy seller, they expect the community to freak out. And then you expect this massive selling uh, to kick in because everybody thinks, oh my God, here it comes. Here's the rug pull. Here's here's the whale selling. There's not there. It can't happen. Okay. Yes. Can they sell and bring the price down? Yeah, they can. They can get their money, whatever they want. But that evolution contract has a correction mechanism in it. And what ends up happening is they come back in and they try to buy, but it ends up driving the market value up higher than what they sold it for. And it ends up cutting their holdings almost by half. So it's not a pool that's a good place for a whale to be. They need to go play in the other projects that don't have, a self-sustaining ecosystem with a liquidity provision so they can manipulate over there in those other projects that aren't going to be stable because it doesn't work here. And they can sell They can bring the price down. They can even eat up some liquidity, but it's not going to benefit them. It's not like it's something they can come in and do over and over and over and over and over again. It's not designed to work that way for them. And with your bot trading, same thing. They might take a few dollars, but it's not anything that's going to last for them. And so you'll start to see when they do that, they kind of fade away. It just happened the other day. Somebody come in, they bought, I don't know what it was, $35,000 with MoveQuest. They waited till it went up a little bit and they sold it. But then the evolution contract takes care of that. And now they're kind of locked out from being able to sell again. They have to wait, until it goes back up to the price they drove it to. So they buy and drive it up, and then they think they've got the price high enough, and then they sell it, thinking they're going to take a profit. But because of the way the evolution is designed, once they came back in and bought, it kind of locked them out. They're stuck because the evolution will take it back to where it should be, what the liquidity can be at stable wise. And now the person who wanted to play games with it is they're locked out now. Now they can sell and take a loss, but there's no profit there. And so this is what that evolution, this is also part of that evolution. So this also is benefiting you as a community with this evolution mechanism that's in place. Now, you guys all know me by now. I just kind of say it like it is. The evolution does what the community should be doing. So you should watch and learn. And I'm telling you right now, if you learn how these markets work, you're going to be so much better off. I mean, a little bit of money is great now, but a whole lot of money is better later. So basically, the evolution is managing the liquidity responsibly. It's doing what the community should be doing by holding and strategically injecting MoveQuest to ensure sustainable growth. It keeps the market healthy. It provides value to long-term holders, ensuring that oversold MoveQuest is strategically reintroduced at higher values. Now, you guys got to understand something. With a liquidity pool, it is always wanting to become stable, not for the person who's selling today. Okay. It's not correcting it for those people. It's just not. If you're overselling it, you're going to take the hit on the low market value. That's a decision you made. What the project does is it creates stability and long-term health in this market for the long-term holders. It wants to create a sustainable wealth system for people who are holding. So when you guys are complaining, well, where's the evolution? And why isn't the price going back up so I can sell? Well, it's not here for those people who are overselling. It's here to sustain it for those people who are holding for the long term, for the longevity of the project, for that long-term wealth. So you've got to, pay attention to the selling pressure and if you're overselling the tokens. Okay, if there's more tokens being sold than are being bought, you're overselling. You're creating a downward spiral of the market. Now, if the community as a whole is happy with that, that's fine because the evolution contract pays attention to that. It does not drive the market value up for sellers. It stabilizes the market value based on what the community is saying it's happy with. So you guys have to take a look at those charts and you have to say, oh, okay, 200,000 was sold today and only 150,000 was purchased. That means 50,000 was oversold. And while you're doing this, you're essentially, you got to think about this in realistic terms. Those of you who are holding this, I hope you're getting what I'm saying. And those of you who are selling, I hope you're getting it too. Because when you oversell the evolution contract, it pretty much consumes those MoveQuest tokens to inject it for future stability for the long-term holders. That's what it's doing. It's correcting that market. It's pulling out the ones that you've oversold, and it's providing more money for those people who are holding down the road because it's going to have higher liquidity value. When that token starts to go back up, it has to pair less MoveQuest to the USDT, which is injecting more liquidity. 204,000 MoveQuest tokens the evolution contract has purchased from overselling. Now, for those of you holding, if you're getting it, that's a big, big deal. That's where your millions of dollars, when you do decide to cash out, is going to be cashable because the evolution contract is holding hundreds of millions of dollars worth of MoveQuest tokens. Hopefully that's sinking in. So a lot of the people lack a clear understanding of how liquidity works and how market values fluctuate. So based on common sense trading habits like avoid overselling during periods of high selling pressure, choose to sell when there's a demand for the token. However, since most people lack this discipline to follow these practices, the evolution mechanism steps in during extreme overselling and it stabilizes the market. Only when the community collectively adopts these healthy buying and selling habits will the token value turn around and rise above our latest high. Okay, so it's correcting itself. And this is fine because this is what the community is happy with right now. But for those of you who aren't, as new people are learning what MoveQuest is about, and they're going to the exchange and they're purchasing the MoveQuest tokens, they're minting those miners, it's removing more from circulation, it's driving up the market value. As people are evolving, that's adding more USDT that can be added to the MoveQuest token that the evolution contract has had to purchase from the overselling. It's going to inject even more liquidity, and you're going to start to see that token go back up again into the triple digits instead of the double digits. But I want to inject something here. Name me one project, not a blockchain, that went over $110 in less than 60 days and stabilized between $59 and $65. You won't find one because there's not one project out there that's been created like this one. Now we're going to talk about the mining dock. The mining dock slots are unlocked using MoveQuest tokens. Now, these MoveQuest tokens are then paired with USDT, and it's collected a whole lot of MoveQuest tokens from the mining dock. That's part of that 204,000 that is sitting there to add to the liquidity in the pool. So once a miner is plugged into the dock, it begins to generate hashes based on the user's steps, distance, workouts, calories burned, and sleep. So when the user submits that proof of physical activity, the data is recorded to the blockchain. This ensures transparency and accuracy, and it validates the MoveQuest rewards that were mined. This process integrates your physical activity with blockchain technology while contributing to the ecosystem's liquidity. Now we're going to talk about the submissions and the claims. So the MoveQuest that you use for the mining dock, 100% of that goes straight to the evolution collection of MoveQuest. 100% of it. With the submission and claim fees, these are paid using the blockchain's native token. So if you're on the Binance Smart Chain, it uses BNB. If you're on Avalanche, it uses AVAX. This is then converted into USDT. Okay, the USDT is used to buy MoveQuest from the market. And once it's purchased the MoveQuest, it's paired to the USDT and it can be added to the liquidity pool. So this also supports the liquidity of MoveQuest while maintaining the balance token economy. Now, it's important to note that if there's not overselling, this USDT doesn't have to go buy MoveQuest. It can actually take what it's got saved up and it can pair it, all of it, to the USDT. So it can take 100% of the USDT, pair it to what it's already purchased, and add double the liquidity to the pool. So when the overselling periods have ended and we start to see the token correct and go back up again, you'll start to see more liquidity going into the pool because it doesn't have to do the correction. It doesn't have to purchase that oversold MoveQuest. So when you're overselling, you're making a decision that it doesn't need more liquidity, that you're happy with the market value of the token. You guys have to understand, this is completely community driven. The ecosystem does not drive the market up. It doesn't drive it down. It only buys oversold MoveQuest, oversold. And it's hoarding a lot of it. It's the community that drives the market value up. It's the community that drives the market value down. the project doesn't bring the token value down either because it cannot sell MoveQuest. There's not one mechanism within this project where the project sells MoveQuest. Challenges, leasing, and all the other features that are coming in MoveQuest. This is going to happen when we launch the rebranded app and Web3. Now we are going to be starting to test this weekend. And if everything is a thumbs up and it's a go, there's nothing wrong, we'll be turning and flipping the switch and everybody's going to see this amazing application. It's so beautiful. You guys are going to be so shocked. You won't even be able to contain the excitement. Like it's that good. It's so incredible. When we introduce the rebranded app and site, we'll also be introducing challenges that will come with it. And then a couple weeks later, we're going to introduce the leasing. We'll have boosts and a lot of the gamification will be there. The marketplace will be introduced a couple weeks later. And pretty much instead of it being, because we're adding these features as we go, will be pretty much complete. Of course, then we've got a lot more we're going to be doing, but we really haven't added that to the roadmap yet. We'll always be enhancing this app and we'll always be adding features that make it even more exciting and more rewarding and more competitive. But once we do go into the rebranded app and site and we introduce the challenges and leasing, this is going to also strengthen the ecosystem because it's going to demand more use of the MoveQuest token. There's going to be a lot more user engagement within the ecosystem. And so once this happens, you're going to start to see that turnaround on the market value of that token as well. Now I want to talk about the miner price shift because this is going to happen. We are currently at about 20, I think we were at 25,500 and something miners that are mining currently in the mining docks. And so it's already starting to show that pressure in the algorithm where the miner price is going to shift. So I think it's going to happen somewhere between the 50,000 and the 100,000 mark. It's an algorithm that determines it. When I had done the algorithm on a spreadsheet, it had based it on 100,000 miners in the mining dock. However, that algorithm is shifting and it's starting to say, nope, it's going to happen sooner than that. So I'm guessing between the 50,000 to the 100,000, you're going to start to see this. So currently, the price to mint an entry-level miner with a 50% mining power is locked at $50. However, as we begin to approach that 50,000 miners in the mining dock, it could switch at any time. Okay, and it will be determined by the algorithm. It's based on uh, mining pressure, mining difficulty increasing, buying pressure on the market, selling pressure on the market, number of miners that are in the mining dock, number of miners what type of miners are mining. Are they mostly Lennies, mostly primaries, ultras, alphas, omegas? All of this stuff plays into what determines when this price does a shift. Now, what I mean by this is right now, it's $50 to mint a miner. So let's just say that that's like 0.6 MoveQuest or 0.5. We'll say 0.5 MoveQuest, a half a MoveQuest. When that triggers for that price to lock, it's going to lock the amount of MoveQuest. Now it's no longer $50. Now it's based on the amount of MoveQuest times multiplied by the market value of MoveQuest. So if MoveQuest is $100 and it takes a half a MoveQuest, it's $50. But if MoveQuest is $200 and it takes a half a MoveQuest, it's now $100 to mint the entry-level miner. Now, the reason that this is important is because it's going to, one, drive up the market value of these miners. It's going to make them more valuable over time. It's also going to remove more MoveQuest from circulation. Okay, because the market value of the MoveQuest is increasing. So it's removing more MoveQuest that won't be sold on the market at a higher market value. It's also going to ensure that there is a continued reserve of MoveQuest available for future mining beyond the year of 2087. And this also helps further stabilize and sustain the token's long-term value. This also creates a demand for leasing because as the MoveQuest, imagine if 24,000 MoveQuests are purchased on the site, That's taking the market value of the token. I think I'm jumping ahead of myself. Let me go to the next slide. I know I am. We'll talk about the liquidity. Nope, it was back further. Maybe I didn't even talk about that. Let me think. Yeah, we'll see. If not, remind me to tell you what that means for the leasing. We're going to talk about the liquidity provision. So it's important to understand that the costs associated with various actions in the ecosystem, such as minting miners, the evolving, submitting the activity, claiming your rewards, docking, creating and joining challenges, leasing the miners, this will increase in the alignment with the market value of the MoveQuest token. Okay, so this dynamic pricing is going to ensure that as the token's value rises, more MoveQuest is returned to the liquidity pool, which helps maintain stability. It balances the ecosystem, but by adjusting the prices based on the token's market value, it also sustains the liquidity and it ensures the long-term health of the project. So if the token gets up to $1,000, it's going to cost more to submit. It's going to cost more to claim. It's going to cost more to evolve. It's going to cost more to mint. It's going to cost more. Okay. Because all of this is liquidity provision that's sustaining the market for you as a community. So in your other projects, when they ask you to pre-sale, pre-purchase all the tokens so they can develop the project, that doesn't exist here. When they ask the community to provide the liquidity, you go out, you create the pair, you inject the liquidity, and they give you measly transactional rewards. None of that is existent here. So the engagement in the ecosystem is what provides that liquidity and stabilizes the token value that the community likes the price to be at. And so it does begin to increase those prices. Nowhere near what you're mining and rewarded and being able to sell, but the larger the community, the more stability because these are daily costs submitting and claiming. And so as those fees increase, as the community size grows, it stabilizes the market value of that liquidity pool. And it also ensures long-term health for the project. It prevents sudden imbalances or inflationary pressures, okay, as the community and the token begins to grow. This is important for everybody to understand. There was no token allocation, so there's never going to be a rug pull. Nobody's going to pull or sell mass amounts of tokens that were allocated. Okay. This means that no tokens were set aside for me, for team members, early, what people call early investors. We don't have any investors. This is a completely debt-free project. Instead, the entire community, me included, okay, I buy, I mine. Okay, so everybody that's in this community, you directly benefit, okay, when the project is successful. 90% of all the revenue generated from the ecosystem is retained for liquidity. 90%. You show me one project that's been created in crypto history that does that. You won't find one. Only 10% of the revenue is retained as profit for the project. With that 10%, development costs, design costs, anything of that nature is used from that 10%. This also reinforces the commitment that we as a project has to the community, the growth and the stability of this project. The difference, what sets us apart from other projects in the market is its unique community-driven ecosystem, long-term vision for sustainability. Unlike your other projects, MoveQuest has no pre-allocated tokens, meaning the success of the project is directly tied to the community's growth and engagement. What makes us stand out? 90% of revenue for liquidity. Unlike projects that prioritize profit, we reinvest 90% of all ecosystem revenue into liquidity. This ensures that the token remains stable, valuable, and resistant to market volatility, offering you a much stronger foundation than your typical projects. Our self-sustaining tokenomics. Our tokenomics are designed for long-term sustainability with mechanisms like evolution, liquidity management that control overselling and manipulation, and we keep the ecosystem balanced and healthy. We have a dynamic pricing model. The price for actions like minting, evolving, and challenges is tied to the market value of MoveQuest, ensuring that as the token grows in value, the ecosystem continues to stabilize and strengthen the liquidity. No reliance on new funds. This project does not depend on a constant influx of new users to pay out existing participants. Instead, the revenue model is built to support the community. It benefits everyone as the ecosystem thrives. These features, combined with the project's focus on innovation, transparency, community empowerment, makes MoveQuest truly a one of a kind in the crypto space. We offer a model for long-term growth and sustainability that others simply do not match. Not that they can't, they just don't. We are fully decentralized. I love it when I hear people say, we're decentralized. Really? No, they're not. Their project, you cannot be decentralized with some centralization. If there's any centralization, you are not a decentralized project. We are fully decentralized. This ensures that we do not store, share, save, or sell any of your proof of physical activity data. Our servers are used exclusively for hosting images for the DApp and the Web3 integration. This decentralized approach makes the project debt-free, no external investors, and our operational costs remain minimal. Get this, less than $25 per month for server maintenance. Okay, we don't have cost. Why? Because it's all on chain. We are completely managed through smart contracts. We ensure that the platform is fully automated, fully transparent. We give users complete control. There is no person, company, entity controlling your money. There's no custodian of your monies here. You are in complete control over all actions and your success. There's no intermediaries involved. If I walked away from this today, it still operates. Every interaction from earning rewards to managing miners is governed by code. It empowers the community to directly shape their experience and your outcomes. If you don't make any money here, it's because you didn't do anything. You don't have to go into a dashboard and put in a request for your money and wait for me to decide if you're going to get it or not. It's all managed, it's all paid out in real time, it's all done instantly. And blockchain is perfect. It does not make mistakes. That, folks, is MoveQuest. Now, what I was getting at was with those 24,000 MoveQuests that were in the pool, if somebody was to go in there and buy all those up, that would put the market value of MoveQuest at over $2,600. That was my point when I was talking back there and said, oh, wait a minute, did you see that slide? Because I didn't want to jump ahead of myself. So that right there tells you that the MoveQuest token can move up in very high value very quickly. Somebody had asked me that earlier today. Do could MoveQuest move higher than Bitcoin? 100%. And it can happen a whole lot faster, like years faster. So it's a very unique project. I've taken what I've seen happen in the market, in the crypto landscape of people who completely over and over and over and over every single time create projects that are not sustainable. And because they don't do it right. We built it on the fundamentals of blockchain, and there's nothing but perfection here. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm just telling you this project is perfect. So with that, if you guys have questions, that's all I have to share tonight. But I really want to bring, people, I wanted you to see how powerful this actually is and to be able to understand how each of these pieces come together. And hopefully this clarifies it for everybody. And so when you start to see these silly reviews, these people are clueless. They didn't do their due diligence. They didn't go out and research the project. And so what they're doing is they're giving you a blanket review that you could give to any project out there that is going to fail, but this one is different.
Lynette, I'll take questions in the chat because I know it can get a little crazy with hands being raised. So if you have a
Yeah.
question, we'll address them in the chat and have Lynette answer them. How much time do we have, Lynette?
Oh, I don't have anything. I
Oh,
took
great.
tonight, made
Well, there you
tonight
go.
free. I
So
know
in the
one question is going to be when are we going to increase the amount of MoveQuest that's since it's circulating right now. I got to tell you guys, like we are going to increase it, but I'm like really like, do we or don't we? Because what's that going to do to the selling pressure? I really want to see that selling pressure turn around. I'm trying to force the community to make better decisions and pay attention to the market. You guys, this is here for the long term. If you're going to completely oversell it and then we inject more MoveQuest, what are you going to do with that? And so I'm really kind of watching and seeing like, is this going to reverse? Because who are we benefiting by increasing the MoveQuest. So another thing to understand, I should have put this in the presentation. If you're, let's say you're mining 2 MoveQuests today, you're really mined 4. Okay, because the 2,500 has been set aside from the last 55 days. So whatever you've mined over the last 55 days, you're going to get double that. It's going to be given to you when the market stabilizes and we push past, some of this selling pressure that we have right now. You will get those. So you have to remember that what you've already mined, you still have coming again, double. So do you really want it increased right now? Could we? Yes. But what's it going to do? Because you're still going to get double anyway. It's kind of like it's in a reserve contract. So, when I'm watching the selling pressure, it's like, who are we benefiting? Those who are selling or those who are holding? Because those who are holding are getting it anyway. You know what I mean? You're already getting it. It's already there.
Yeah, good stuff, Lynette. Okay, so okay. If you have a question in the chat, not a lot of chatter, just ask your question in the chat and we'll scroll up and down. I can't keep up. Chat's moving. But any other leader, Brian, you have anything, questions? Because a lot of us are in the field every single day. We're getting questions all day long. I'm pretty sure they may have been covered tonight. They may not have been. So any leaders that are on, Mr. Rhodes, Mr. Ivy, Herschel Pro, Crypto
She
Pager
answered
Daily.
mine. She answered mine that I get a lot
Yeah,
about the
exactly.
distribution.
Yeah. Go
One
ahead.
thing I want
People asking about the Vegas date.
Okay,
We
so
close to getting
right
that
now
market.
on the Vegas date, we're looking at the second week of November. But I'm going to be honest with you. Even though the design and dev teams say it's going to be ready for testing this weekend, I'm still waiting to make sure. I don't want to hold an event until I know that that app is ready and been released. And so I've been hesitant to give a final date on that because we really want that done before we do. So if everything stays on target and it actually is introduced this weekend and we're testing it and everything is great and we turn it on next week, it will be the second week of November. It will be in Vegas and most likely at Mandalay Bay.
Okay.
one other quick thing, Lynette. You mentioned a few minutes ago, as you were saying, remind you, you were going to say something about the challenges, I believe it was.
So the challenges will be released with the rebranded app. Okay, those are done and ready to go. And so we're going to start out with a community challenge first, just so everybody can kind of test it. We make sure it works, everybody understands how to set it up. And then we'll turn on the availability for the community to begin creating those challenges. Leasing will follow approximately 2 weeks after the challenges, simply because we don't want to introduce too many features and then have something a bug appear and then we have to go back and fix. So we want to make sure as we introduce each feature, because these are major features, that everything is operating as should be and that these contracts are communicating properly. So you have to understand when you create a challenge, it's creating a new contract. It's a smart contract that you own essentially. That is going to distribute, like the placement winnings. It's going to send the person who created the challenge any profit that they made from that challenge. It also distributes a percentage for the liquidity pool. And so we have to make sure that all of these contracts are functioning properly and are doing what they're supposed to do. And if we introduce them both at the same time, it's too much to try to test and make sure everything's functioning properly. And then once we get these major pieces done, we will have them professionally audited so that we can publish all the audits on these contracts for everybody.
There you go. I saw a question about is the price of the miners going to go up? And then I saw Carl. He said, "I'm not going to wait for the miners to go up. I'm buying extra ones now." So Lynette, how do you feel about that? You said about between the 50,000 and 100,000. I believe the number we're
That's a
around
smart
25.
move. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I'm doing. I want them at $50. I don't want to pay 100, 200, $300 for entry level miners and then have to pay extra to evolve them. So I have to do just like everybody else. I have to mint my miners. Everything is a level playing field. Everything is the same for everybody here. So I mean, if you can do it and you want to lease them, that's the best is to get those miners, when the price is at 50, not going to be higher than 50, but that's up to everybody. Um, and it's not the amount of miners that have been minted that determines when that price locks. It's the amount of miners in the mining dock. that are actually plugged in and mining. So we hit 25,000 miners in the mining dock in our first 55 days. So what I'm telling everybody is that we could literally see this MoveQuest price lock within the next 50 days if we keep moving at the rate we are. Because when I look at the algorithm, when I created it, it was set at 100,000, but the algorithm is backing down. It's already at 65 or 65,320 something miners in the mining dock for that price to lock. So I already know it's shifting downwards, which means the market value of the token is stable because it's looking at also how much MoveQuest has been acquired in that evolution contract, which, like I said, 24,000 is $62 million right now. If somebody went to the exchange and purchased that, it would cost them $62 million. Now that right there tells you guys that this is whale proof. Okay, who's going to come in and buy $62 million worth of MoveQuest to drive the market up to $2,600? And then when they sell it, they would drive it right back down to the $90 or $59 that it's at right now. It's whale proof. There is no whale scenario here. So when you know that the evolution contract is holding 204 MoveQuest tokens, okay, divide that by 24,000, and you're looking at $240 million. That's half of the liquidity that's paired to the USDT. That means it's sitting on almost $500 million in liquidity. For those of you who are holding, does that tell you that yes, you will be able to cash out your millions of dollars from holding your token?
All right, here's another one. A selling pressure will only increase as more new people come in, most likely. It's more of a statement.
No, because if more people are coming in, that means that more people are going to the exchange and buying that MoveQuest. And you got the demand for the MoveQuest. So if there is a demand for the MoveQuest, of course you can sell because there'd be more people buying. You want more people buying than you have selling. When you've got more people selling than you have buying the MoveQuest, that's the selling pressure.
There you go.
And Ken, we
Someone,
have asking about the farming for those that are holding their tokens.
Okay, so the development got a little bit behind on that. It should be done. I don't want to give you a day or a time. Here's what happened. So Apple did a major update and it messed up everybody's sleep. And so the developers had to take off and handle that. And so the farming got put on hold for a minute. So they should have that finished up. But when something comes up, we don't have control over when Apple or Android does an update. And if we have to go fix something or update libraries, Remix had some major updates. There's some things that got in the way that had to be addressed first. So those of you who are holding your tokens for that, keep holding because you'll still benefit because it's 1,300 MoveQuest a day that will be distributed to those of you that are holding. So again, you'll still have those.
gotcha. Okay, someone asked, will it be downloadable? Speaking on the app itself, before mid or end of October, it could be within the next couple of weeks from what you were saying, right?
Yes, and so we also once this happens, you should not have to use test flight. You should just be able to go right to the Apple Store and download that app. So the only delay that would be is just waiting on that approval from Apple, but that shouldn't take long to do. I mean, everything's already approved. It's just the corporation documents for MoveQuest. Apple requires that. Android doesn't, Apple does.
Right. Okay. Mystery Miners is in here. I'm just scrolling down from like 857. I mean, there's 30 more. So if anybody has anything, just shoot. But I'm just kind of going in order from what I think is something that people probably need to know. Looks like Loretta asked about the Mystery Miners. I've never heard about that. Um, let me see. Is that
She's referring to the miners that have the random miners with the same sequence numbers. 88888.
So those are the legacy miners and the epic miners. And we also have a document that we'll be putting in MoveQuest. So this whole thing will be on GitHub, which will mark out every single step, including the legacy miners, the epic miners, the rare, the ultra rares. And she may also be talking about the mystery boxes. as well. And those should also be done within a couple of weeks of the rebrand.
Okay. Here's a question here. Are the rewards we get counted as mining or as airdrop? Because they come from an airdrop contract, as far as I understand. Just
So
asking for future when I have
the
eventually
reason I
declared my
call it
taxes. Yeah.
So the reason I call it an airdrop is because we do have a mechanism here where other projects can airdrop their tokens so that you can be mining more than just the MoveQuest token. Um, and that's the only reason it's called that. It's where the tokens are deposited. We have to approve if somebody does airdrop their project's tokens there. So we vet the project, and then that also allows you to basically expand your portfolio, your crypto, which is why we go up on multiple blockchains so that other projects, so you can mine other project tokens. We really vet them heavily. Um, in fact, I just turned two projects down because their project isn't going to last. I basically told them what they needed to do to fix it. When they fix it, then we would introduce them into the airdrop. So we don't want people to mine tokens that don't have value or that aren't going to be here for the long term. We want to be involved with projects that are building the right way. So we call it the airdrop because that's where the tokens that are distributed are sent to this airdrop contract. And then from that point, they're distributed based on a daily allocation.
Gotcha. All right. When do you expect 4, 6, and 8 and 12-month contracts for holding? I think it was kind of like the quote unquote vault to become available.
So what we've decided to do is just keep it at 30 days, and then people would just they would just re-input their tokens or not claim them out. So every 30 days it would cycle. Basically. So if somebody wanted to remove their tokens, they could, it would end the farming on them that day. And then the next time, if somebody re-ups and they're there for a second month, it would increase the amount of farming rewards that they would get for the next 30 days. So if you remove, it starts your farming over again, which means you would start at the lower level. If you're there for 60 days, you're getting a higher number of rewards because it's going to increase the percentage you get each day. So we're not going to have multiple contracts. It'll just be in this way, everybody, let's say you said, okay, I want to lock them for 12 months, but something catastrophic happened, and hopefully it never does, but you needed those and you locked yourself out of them. We don't want that to happen. So we're only going to do a 30-day stretch. This way, if somebody does need them, they're able to get them.
Okay. Someone wants to get started. I think Brian addressed that. That's about farming. Yeah. Okay. We got farming. Brandon got that. Oh, how are negotiations with partnerships coming along? Could those come together in November? I guess.
They're coming along very well. I, really, they're all ready to get started now, but we're not quite ready for them. I really want the rebrand to be there, so that we don't have to try to explain why we're, moving from one into the next. So really, it's not them that aren't ready. It's me who's kind of holding off on that. Everything needs to happen at the right time.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense. Somebody said, call us the whalers. Explain more about the mine tokens we will be getting next year. Okay. Is there a ninth miner docking slot? Just kind of going down these, and it's really jumping, so it's hard to figure out. Anybody else got anything off the top? Any other leaders out
I've
there,
seen a few
builders?
coming through. So Fitbit was problematic with Health Connect, but now Fitbit is working really good, and some of the other fitness trackers are not. So here's what I would say. If you're using an iPhone, I mean, it's best to use an Apple Watch. We can't guarantee whether a watch is going to be compatible or not. Apple works with iOS the best. Galaxy works with Samsung the best. Fitbit is now working very well, and I would stick with those three. We are working with a group. I just had a meeting with them last week, and they are actually putting together a fitness tracker that would calculate at the same, because Android and Apple are they calculate differently. So they're working on a fitness tracker that calculates the same for both iOS and Android that would be cost efficient for people to be able to purchase and would work well with what we have here. So once we get that done, and we've tested that, we'll be able to introduce one that would be specific, and it would even be branded with MoveQuest, you know, the bands and all that. So it's kind of exciting. So I'll let you know more on that. Binance Smart Chain, we've already started correcting that. Those of you who are mining on the Binance Smart Chain, I would still continue to do so. And MoveQuest will be listed over there, we hope within the next 2 weeks on that chain. And then we are right now hoping to introduce our next blockchain within the next 90 days.
Awesome. Which one?
I'm not 100%. I'm
Okay,
still
no biggie.
researching them, but most likely it's going to be Base or Arbitrum.
Ooh, Base would be huge. That's a massive community in Coinbase. That'd
Yeah.
be yeah, that'd be awesome.
I'm really researching to see which one's going to go up in market value the highest, the fastest.
Makes sense.
Lynette, on that, before I get blown up about it, if we move to another chain, are you going to create like we did the 300 again, or are we going to do a different way? Just
There will
open.
be no liquidity raise. Basically, what we've done with the 10% profit that comes in is we've set aside $100,000 that will be paired to the MoveQuest token, and it'll list at $1, and everybody will have the same advantage. You'll go to the exchange and you'll purchase it right from there. So there won't be a liquidity raise.
Awesome.
You got
let's
better
see.
humans there, Cam, with his hand up.
Yeah, go ahead. I was telling everybody on the chat, but go ahead.
Oh, hold on, man. My light's off a bit. I've just got back. I just wanted to just got back with my 3 devices, but I just wanted to just go on more of the point with what Lynette said about the devices. So I've been testing. I've got just about every device there is. I've tried everything. I've even tried the Aura Ring, which I've sent back, by the way. But from all my experience, from all my testing, I know Garmin is a little bit expensive, but it is the only one where it gets true results. Like everything goes through 100%, but you have to use HealthSync. So if you use HealthSync and use Garmin, it's 100%. And I just got a new Garmin, which is a Vivo Smart 5, and I've been testing this the last 3 days, and this works awesome as well. And this is only $150. I mean, I know, and
with iOS as well.
I've got it does. Oh, yeah.
Okay,
and
good.
this here is the Xiaomi, and I've tried the 7, 8, and 9. And the problem with this is workout, the workout time. But what I've found with Garmin is that it just puts everything through 100%, and calories is good because it puts your resting calories through as well. So you start the day with about 800 or 900 already. So it's just, it just works better. But anyway, I just wanted to put that information out there. So
yeah, that's good
Awesome.
information.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Awesome. When will the onboarding process be shortened and simplified? Oh, very soon. Vale. Yeah, very soon.
Let me answer on the MoveQuest doc over on Binance Smart Chain. So there is no MoveQuest available. Okay, that's why it's not taking MoveQuest, but it does take BNB. And that will also be liquidity. So until we list MoveQuest on the Smart Chain, you have to use BNB to doc.
Okay, you address the BNB one. Okay, I'm just scrolling. I mean, there's like 60. I mean, y'all help me out. Just shoot. I mean, I can't keep up. I'm just going one by one, but I'm pretty sure you guys are seeing the fresh ones come in. Binance chain update, just did that. How will we hold? So basically, we won't claim what's available. Where is the selling calculator? Oh, the selling also the white paper. I saw that one. I know that you're pretty
should
close
be
there.
up on the site anytime.
Okay.
It's done now. I'm just having
Okay.
it proofread,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll send it over to the developers and they'll get it up there.
Sweet. Yeah, and the selling calculator is in the Telegram. We put that in there last week, I believe, for everybody to have access to.
See a lot of
The
people
miner
ask
app.
about Garmin watches.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Garmin's
we're
good.
also going to be coming up with a solution, and we'll be getting rid of Telegram. I've got to tell you guys, listen.
Yeah.
Stop listening to people that are hitting you up on Telegram. You will
Less than just
never
that.
get a direct message from any of us on Telegram. Ever, ever, ever. If you're in doubt, go into customer support. If you're in doubt, connect with, you know, come into one of the Zooms that Herschel's in or Brian's in, Ken's in, that Brandon is in. They'll let you know if somebody's actually trying to contact you. You're not going to get a link from us to join something else, to spend money somewhere else. We're not doing that. Okay. So if somebody directly messages you on Telegram and AI is getting crazy. They're making videos that are duplicating us with our voice and telling you to go buy something or to go click on this link. Just don't do it.
Yeah.
Seriously, just don't do it. We're not going to
Yeah.
tell you to do that.
I got about 5 videos of me going around inviting people to a special project.
Yeah.
So I'll never invite you to a special project. Not like that. That's just weird.
Yeah, you'll never get a DM. Period. That's just
Even
the
Quentin,
rule.
Quentin got one out now too, I think.
Yeah, I mean, just do not respond to DM messages. Pretty much. I mean, if they're not going to call you, they're not. To me, they're not legitimate.
Right.
If I
We're just
can't talk.
messaging you in that group chat. If it's outside that group chat, we didn't
Right.
contact you.
Right.
I did get a couple of questions on, what do you mean by we're going to match the MQT that we're already earning now? I know you've
So,
about
right.
that.
So there should be 5,000, well, I'll get the exact number. Maybe it was 5,008. I can't remember now. There's so many numbers in my head. It's on my spreadsheets. So right now, because there's only 2,500 going out, I mean, part of the excitement is the early adoption, right? You got in early, you mine more. So those 5,000 plus whatever it is a day are still going to be rewarded on a daily basis from day one. So on day one, if you mined 30, you still have 30 from that day coming. On day 55, if you mined 2, you have 2 from day 55 that are still coming. It's just in a reserve contract until the selling pressure isn't there, until the liquidity pool is stable, and until the growth is basically where it should be at to say, okay, there should be X amount of tokens in circulation. Right now, we're not there. And so what those are is they're in a reserve contract and it will send them out to you as soon as that liquidity pool is stable. So if you've already mined 1,000 MoveQuest, you still will have another 1,000 that you'll be claiming.
I like it.
Yeah.
Mined a lot of coins. This is going to be exciting. I do see some people just asking for new people, how do we mine these coins through moving our bodies? I don't know if you got a short
So
elevator.
it's basically hash mining. So every time this movement comes into the app, it's generating hashes. And then when you submit that proof of physical activity, it takes all these hashes that were generated and it creates one transactional hash that's recorded this proof of physical activity to the blockchain. So if you did 20,000 steps, and this is what you see with the global mining shares, all this physical activity is combined and they each get X amount of MoveQuest. It's like 0.000000006 or something like that. So each step would be worth X amount of MoveQuest from the daily allocation of these tokens. When you submit that proof of physical activity and it's recorded to the blockchain, it calculates those mining shares based on the hashes that you generated, and it rewards you that amount of MoveQuest. It's proof of physical activity. It's not proof of stake. It's not proof of work. It's proof of physical activity. And that validates the amount of tokens that you're rewarded.
Yeah, I'm just reading the questions. I mean, you pretty much answered most of
You
them.
guys see what
Uh,
Wallet posted too? I reposted it, but
Yeah, I
never
see
give
that.
access to your private keys. Don't
Right.
click on any links. I've had multiple people today that got emails from MetaMask.
Yep.
Who here actually put in an email when they set up a MetaMask? Nobody.
Not one.
So they will never email you. So if
Yep.
you get an email from MetaMask, just delete it. Just
And you guys got to understand something. There is not a project on the market that has done what we've done. You won't find one that went to 100 and okay, the 125, that was not real. That was somebody who sold and Evolution corrected it and they jumped back in too late. So 125 really wasn't a true price value, but 110 was. You never have seen it. And then stabilize at the $60 mark with only 4,000 people in the community. So you know what? They are coming after this project like crazy. The scammers are lining up. They're looking for that unsuspecting person that they can rip off. They're telling everybody that we're scammers and that this doesn't work. No, you know what? This works. This is the way all projects should be built. It's stable. It's here for the long term. You guys are seeing it work. Can you imagine when there's 40,000 people here, what the market value is going to be, what that liquidity pool is going to look like? This is only 4,300 people. They are coming after it with all barrels loaded. Literally, the scammers, the hackers, the con artists, they are looking for any person that's willing to take them up on their phishing link, their malicious hardware, their fake websites, fake pools. They're creating fake MoveQuest pools. People have actually gone and purchased from. We're going to tell you what chains we're on. Okay, we're on Avalanche and we're on Binance Smart Chain and Kai Chain. They haven't listed their coin yet, so you can't do anything with the Kai Chain. That's it. That is it. If you see it somewhere else, it's fake, it's fraud, it's a scam, and they're just trying to con you.
There you go. I got
Did you
Lenny
see-
up here. Go ahead, Lenny.
Hello, guys. Hey, Lynette, it's Leonard.
Hey,
Question. I noticed lately when I'm claiming, I have more than 10 days in the wallet that it's been claiming like 13, 14 days.
yeah,
Am I
right
the only
now, so here's what happened. And I can't really explain it to you 100% because it kind of, so let's put it this way. There is a glitch in the claiming. And so if you tried to claim 10 days, there's something, it wasn't allowing it. It was doing a revert on the claim execution. And so what we did was we increased the number of days so people could claim 10. Now, when I did this, I was under the understanding that it wasn't going to allow more than 10. But what I have found out is that it is. So this is supposed to be corrected tomorrow. So for those of you that were holding, and then let's say you had 20 or 30 days and you claimed, you got them all for 10 days for the fee of 10 days.
Better go claim now.
So this really wasn't supposed to happen, but it did, and it hasn't been fixed yet, but it's supposed to
Quinn's
be
like,
fixed
"Yep."
by tomorrow. So we'll see.
Oh boy. All right.
Well, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Can we
The benefit of a bug.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a good problem.
Not always a bad thing, right? Yeah.
Got a lot of people asking about GFAM updates.
So like I said, we're in the process of correcting the Binance Smart Chain. And once we list the MoveQuest token, we'll do a zoom on that as well. But I'm not going to do that on this call. Wait, and we'll just do a call specific to the Binance Smart Chain. But you guys should see that it's already starting to correct itself and the liquidity is increasing. And so there is, that is in process. But 3.5 years of mining without the full ecosystem there is the contributor to that on that chain. So it's not going to be, corrected overnight, but we are in the process of correcting it. And when we do, it'll be swift. You guys will notice it very quickly. And then MoveQuest will do like it did here. And then GFAM will also go up in value. So we're going to be burning. Right now, what my goal is to burn 2.5 billion of those GFAM tokens, which means most of them are already in circulation, and there'll be a massive, basically buyback of those from the through evolution there. And so you'll start to see that GFAM correct, and we'll bring that down to where there'll only be about 100,000 GFAM over time, which is going to drive up the market value on the GFAM. And eventually we'll phase out GFAM because eventually it'll just be bought up off the market, and then it'll just be the MoveQuest there. All other chains will only have MoveQuest. So
there we go. If we stock up on Lenny's now, can we transfer to the new blockchains when they open?
Nope.
No. No, you have to have those Lenny's or those miners on that particular blockchain. Why are MetaMask ETH to Avalanche chain bridge fees so excessive at times?
well, you'd have to contact those
Yeah,
chains and ask them.
those
I
chains.
don't have
Yeah.
control over that.
Right, right.
Really, it's a lot. It has to do with congestion on the blockchain. So If the
Mhm.
blockchain is slow, it's cheaper. If the blockchain has got a lot of transactions going through at that time, they're going to charge you more because
Yeah.
there's a higher demand. The higher the demand, the more you're going to pay. The lower the demand, the less you're going to pay. So if you don't like the fee, wait until, the fees come down and the blockchain is congested.
There you go. Well, awesome. I don't, well, they just keep coming in. When is oh, here it is. Loretta's asked this like a few times. I've been trying to get to her. When is the charity component going to be released? Charity.
With a new application, so we're already talking to a couple of different charity groups. We need the liquidity to be a little bit more stable. You can't really give to charity before, the liquidity is stable because the charity would be selling the MoveQuest, obviously. So we'll let you know how all that is going to work and when. But again, we're 55 days old on the Avalanche chain. And while we're doing amazing, we still need some more stability there.
Yeah. We're just a baby, right? 60 days,
Just a
70
baby.
days. I mean, my goodness. We got to get to
We're big
crawl. We got
baby,
to,
but we're
yeah,
just a
yeah.
baby.
Right. Yeah. Like I said, that's the only variable. It's just the time, It's the time. We keep doing what we're doing and time is going to tell. And I know one thing when we talk about be here a year from now, that's going to be special. So
I get a question a lot, Lynette. What's wise to do? This is what everybody asks me. Should I sell my MoveQuest to evolve?
mhm.
So the ecosystem has a loop. So when you sell your MoveQuest to evolve, you're selling MoveQuest for USDT. You're going to the evolution contract to evolve using the USDT, and the evolution contract will then either buy back the oversold MoveQuest or it will inject the liquidity, pairing it to MoveQuest. So no, it doesn't hurt to sell your MoveQuest to evolve because it has a looping feature. There's several loops within our ecosystem that supplies back to the liquidity when it's sold.
Plus, you'll be making more and you'll
And
be
you're
getting more
making more.
later.
There we go. All right.
And how many docks are we going to open? And can we open the ninth dock now?
So we opened up the eighth one just before, so it was supposed to open at 20,000, but again, I held off. And here's another thing. So people tell you, oh, it's a scam. She just ought to get as much money as possible, like all the other projects. No, because if let's say that component was here, I'd have opened up the eighth slot when we hit 20,000, but I waited until we were at almost 24,000, 4,000 miners later, right? Beyond. And then when people started to mint and dock, then it took us up over the 25,000. So the ninth slot is supposed to unlock at 30, but I really don't think we will do it at 30. We'll probably do it closer at 35,000, but a lot will depend on the liquidity. So if the liquidity is there, then we'd open up that ninth slot. And also we want to make sure that we've increased what's in circulation so that it really is paying off to have the ninth slot open, because at this point in time, by not increasing the MoveQuest just yet, it's really just redistributing the 2,500. And so we want to make sure that we've increased the MoveQuest before we open the ninth slot so that it actually is beneficial to people. If that makes sense to you, what I'm trying to explain, because again, it's all math, it's all numbers, and it wouldn't be a good time right now. Yeah, you might get some more MoveQuest, but it really wouldn't be fair to people to spend that money on a ninth slot and evolve before that MoveQuest is increased in the daily distribution. So we're holding off on that as well. Everything we do is with the community in mind, like so that it benefits the community.
Love it. I get a lot of questions like, think we'll be $1,000 a token by Christmas. It's up to us. Let's all go enroll 2 people tomorrow. Let's hold some MQT and let's
We could
keep
easily, yeah,
growing
if we hit
our.
that 10 to 15,000 mark in the community, we could easily hit $500 to $1,000 by Christmas.
Yeah, you want some major momentum? Everybody go recruit a couple people. Everybody hold some MQT. The price
Yeah,
starts
hold on to your
jacking
MoveQuest a little longer.
it jacks up. Everybody starts taking videos, throwing all their social media. The coin's going up. We blow up.
Yep.
The
It's just a
selling
matter of
pressure
time.
is heavy right now. It's very heavy. So if the community as a whole would back off on the selling, you'd start to see that reversal. But the community's got to stop overselling. You can't sell more than is been bought. Okay, it's a balancing act. It's all about supply and demand. You're oversupplying the market. You've got to wait till the demand is there. You sell when the buying pressure is there. You don't, right now it's the selling pressure is too high. You don't sell unless there's a demand. And so if you're selling before the demand is there, you're going to see if the price is dropping, people are overselling. If the price is going up, the demand is there for you to sell. So you've got to let it reverse. And all it takes, you know what I've always said? If everybody would not post on Facebook for 3 days, they'd stop trying to control what's on Facebook. Because you know how much money them people would lose if everybody stopped posting? No marketing dollars were being given to them. Okay, if everybody would just stop selling for 3 days and you let people buy, do you know what that would do to the market value of the token? Think about it. It all comes down to common sense and using your brain. I'm sorry if that sounds really rude, but it's just a facts. Common sense.
Yes, you do want to purchase miners when the price is low. Yes. Why will MQT be different prices on different blockchains? They already answered that.
I think that person's talking about a fake coin that launched today at
Yeah.
$59. That's obviously not the coin that
No,
we have.
no. Check the
Yeah,
contract.
so
if that's fake.
basically what they did is, and deck screener is really irritating me, but they need to recognize that these other tokens that are coming up are not us and stop combining us. So what they're doing is they're taking what the actual market value of the token is when another one comes up on a different chain, and they're basically saying, okay, this chain only has this amount, but this is the market value. It really isn't the market value, and it has no effect over there. You're not gonna buy at 59 and be able to sell at 59. I mean, there's no liquidity in that. I seen it earlier today. And again, I turned it over to Deck Screener, but we have to get the light paper up on the MoveQuest site. Once that's there, then all of this will go away. But there's certain steps that we have to take. And it takes me a long time to write these light papers and make sure that everything is proper. So as soon as we get that and we send the metadata in on the token, all of this crap goes away.
Hey, Herschel, can you unmute Mike Beal? Oh, never mind.
No, Lynette, I think what the person was actually asking is, how MQT started on the BNB side and it's not as high as, and each chain, the value of the MQT is going to be different prices on each chain, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. They'll be completely different because the community will drive each chain.
Yeah. So you're gonna have to buy miners on each chain for the individual that said that. Christy? Yes. So each chain that opens up, you're gonna have to buy the miners on each chain so we can drive the value up on each side. So
Right. You can't use BNB on Avalanche and you can't use AVAX on BNB. You can't use miners that are on BNB on Avalanche, and you can't use miners from Avalanche on the Binance Smart Chain. You can't cross chain, can't cross swap tokens, you can't cross chain on your miners either.
There we go. A lot of BNB questions tonight from certain people. I'm selling my MQT to evolve only. Is that okay? Or should I be holding that MQT no matter what?
Well, here's the thing. If you have higher mining power, you're mining more MoveQuest than what you're mining with lower mining power. So sell your MoveQuest, get your USDT, go evolve. The evolution contract will, add back that liquidity, buy back those MoveQuests. That's a loop within the ecosystem. It's not hurting anything at all.
Yeah.
Somebody else in here says that my contacts in Ghana are having issues connecting their MetaMask wallet to GetFit Mining. So here's what you guys do. Go into your MetaMask wallet, go into your settings, copy your private key for each one of your wallets. Your 12-word passphrase is the exact same for every single wallet that is in the MetaMask wallet, unless you've imported one from a different DApp wallet. Then it would be a different 12-word passphrase. However, with MetaMask, you will need your private key for each wallet. Make sure you've copied it. Make sure you've pasted it somewhere that nobody's got access to it. Then remove that MetaMask, uninstall it, reinstall it, and import your wallets using your private key, and that will correct the MetaMask issue. That has been an ongoing issue since, I don't know, I had to do it a couple of weeks ago. It's a pain in the neck, but that's the only thing that's going to fix it for those of you that are having issues, an ongoing issue with MetaMask. It just sits there and spins and spins and spins and spins. It'll spin for hours until you do that.
All right.
It'll be a weekend in Vegas for Hillary, who asked, will the launch be over a couple of days? It'll be a weekend event.
Yeah, a lot of chatter now more than, yeah. Is there something other users are dealing with too? Yeah. Yeah, I saw this question he just had. I've been having trouble recording my sleep. If you're on an app, you might have a the Apple update situation. Grizzle, I think that's your name. Support, we can help you with that. With support and Telegram, we have a lot of Q&A on that. The Apple update, the 18.1, et cetera. We have a couple of options for you to have that sleep show up for your rest, for your sleep.
You guys, I updated my iPhone today. I did the update 17. I did the update 18. I updated the GetFit Mining app because there's an update for that. And I had no issues with my sleep recording. So if you are having issues, yeah, come into customer support so I can get fixed, or hop on with Ken or Herschel. Merchandise, the MoveQuest hoodies, hats, t-shirts, the polo shirts, golf type shirts, those will be available at the event, and we'll also have them on site. So we do have a screen printing company that are creating those.
Awesome. Yeah, it's gonna be hot, man. The entire branding is yeah, it's gonna really pop. It's gonna be beautiful. I can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see it. What else? Who else we got out here? Well, will 9 docs be the max? No. Yeah, more docs there, obviously.
We can unlock,
Yeah.
honestly, the system will hold 1,000,
Oh,
but we
wow.
will probably never go over 30.
Wow. I didn't know that. I thought 12 was like a max. I didn't know why I thought 12 was the max, but 30, huh?
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Lush was late. Yeah, we have an event mid what is it, November, before Thanksgiving in Vegas, tentative in Vegas. And we're getting some details on that. We'll know very soon the details. I think you said Mandalay. That's
Yeah,
kind of like you're leaning
Mandalay
towards.
Bay is the one that's giving us the best discount rates
Right.
for group.
Gotcha. Okay.
I mean, people
Is
can
it?
stay at any hotel they want, but
Yeah.
convention wise and rooms, we're getting the best cost from them right now. I didn't
Right.
want to stay at I wanted to stay at a nicer, and the Mandalay Bay is super nice. I mean, there's a lot of nice ones there, but it's kind of at the end of the strip, so you're not like right stuck in the center. Not everybody likes the Vegas hoopla.
Right. Yes, Viola, I'm sure we'll have to register for that event. Add you to Telegram. I'll put the Telegram here. I know we're trying to get out of Telegram, but we'll use it for now.
Yeah, we will be getting out of Telegram. We just have to
Yeah,
find a good,
we gotta
reliable option. We are working on Discord. It is open for those of you that like Discord. I don't know how to really use it, but it is there.
Yeah, we're working on it. We got to set up the different rooms and then different servers, and there's bots, there's all kinds of stuff. So we need to tighten that up, and I guess there'll just be another option. We'll see how that goes.
Okay, so there will be different types of miners and avatars and things like this as we move into the future. However, the Omega will be the highest powered miner, and it is the only miner that can increase its mining power to 1,000% or more.
All right. All right. There's the Telegram. That needs that. Okay.
I'm going to tell you guys right now, somebody just asked about the influencer. Here's the thing. When people see that price going up, that drives in the momentum. When people see the price going down, the momentum slows. So again, the community is controlling what is happening here. Stop overselling and watch what happens. Keep overselling and you're going to see things slow. people love to see the token moving up in value. They love to see that momentum. That was driving in crazy momentum to this project. Again, right back to, if you don't have to sell, don't sell. If you're selling to evolve, that's great because it's a loop and it goes right back in anyway. But those of you who are just selling to sell, if you need it, do what you got to do. Okay, nobody's here to tell you not to. But if you don't have to, a lot of people have the mindset because there's so much shit out there on the market. Get it while the getting is good. Okay, this is not your typical project. This is why I did the presentation I did tonight. I want people to understand how this ecosystem works so you get it. It's here for the long term. This is not your typical shit show project. So you don't have to sell because you have this fear that one day you're going to wake up and it's gone. So you can hold and only sell when you need to.
Yeah, and the calculator helps. We may need another training on that because I know you went over that one time, but and the document is in the Telegram in the I think it's how to vids and tools. But how a person actually uses that form to actually go ahead and sell, but sell fairly, right, for the whole of the community and for their pocketbook, whatever that may be. So, yeah, we're not saying don't sell. We're just saying sell a certain way and be smart when you do it,
And be
because
strategic.
be strategic because we do know where we want to be, right? And that $1,000 level or on the token and all the things that all the vision that Lynette's put forth and all the numbers that she's cast over the last 60 days, they've been awesome to see, but they won't come to fruition in that timeline if we're overselling, right? So, but
And
there
people
is a
have to
way to do.
understand, like when I do my projections and my sheets, it's based on 100% in a perfect world. That means every single person come in and they minted 14 miners. And everybody who earned commissions sold. But everybody who minted 14 miners evolved all the way up to Omega. Okay, that's not happening. Some people are just coming in, they're doing 1 or 2 Lennies, or they maybe do, 7 Lennies. There's more Lennies and primaries than there are ultra alpha and omegas combined. So when I give the projections, I'm basing it on 100% all the way to the top miner and 100% selling every token in circulation. Okay, obviously that wasn't going to happen, but that was giving you in a perfect world scenario. So you have to shift. Okay. If you know that and you know what I'll do is I'll have Waleed add a counter so that everybody can see the counter. You can go in and see how many Lennies there are, how many primaries, how many ultras, how many alphas, how many omegas in circulation, what the total number of miners are that are mining in the mining docks, how many submissions there are per day. This should be able to be made available so people can see those counters and you can see what's actually transpiring without having to go to a smart contract and try to add it up. And that'll give you an idea of where we're sitting. I think that'll make it a lot more transparent for people to understand it in real time and real motion, so that you guys can see how that's working. And so, yeah, you have to pay attention to the market. And eventually here, when things settle down, I'll be able to teach people how to read these charts so you understand what they're doing because they tell a story.
Who does this, folks? Wow, it's good stuff. Amazing.
And
No
we'll
doubt the
never,
best
ever,
project.
somebody said in here, has there any been thought about limiting how many tokens a person can sell in a period of time? Never, ever will we do that. This is completely decentralized. You guys can do whatever you want. You just have to know that for every cause, there is, for every action, there is a reaction. So if the action is to oversell, then the reaction of that is a lower market value. If people are not evolving up to the higher powered miners, it's less liquidity in the evolution. If they're overselling, then it's more correction than it is adding the liquidity. Um, so you have to look at those charts. And if you go and you see selling volume is higher than the buying volume, if you don't need it, hold it and wait until the selling volume is higher. You always want the selling volume to be higher than the buying volume to be higher than the selling volume. And I love what Yanni said. Common sense leads to uncommon dollars. That is so, 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 so true.
It's good. All right. What will be the requirements for us to lease our miners? Oh, we'll know about that. Any requirements, off the top, Lynette, for leasing miners? Not really.
No,
You own
there's
them.
no requirements on that. And somebody else asked, will the MoveQuest token be listed at 30 cents on each chain going forward? No. Depending on the chains, depending how much profit comes in on the different blockchains, because we don't use the community's money for additional blockchains. We use profit money for those for the future listing of those tokens, and they'll list anywhere from $1 to $10. You'll never see 30 cents again on a MoveQuest token.
All right, Lynette. Well, I'm getting the word that we need to wrap up from Mr. Ivy. This has been awesome. I don't, anything else you want to add tonight? I know we probably had I saw Roy Lean's hand pop up, and I just saw Mr.
Yeah, I think there was
Evans
one
as
other
well.
person.
Yeah.
Kevin maybe was his
Yeah,
name. I don't.
Kevin. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get Roy Lean. You can put your hand up. We'll take 2 more and then we'll wrap this thing up. We've been here a good amount of time. This has been awesome. Go ahead, Kevin.
I just had a quick question regarding, I know most of this stuff is all based around contracts, but like you had talked about before, somebody that say does a lot of water sports. I do a lot of outdoor activities. I want to maybe trade an Omega that's a water Omega with somebody who's got a nature Omega. Can we do that yet, or do we need to wait for the smart contracts for those still?
Well, if you know somebody that wants to trade it, you can transfer them back and forth, but otherwise you'd have to wait for the marketplace. And that won't be long either. So once we launch the rebrand site, you'll see all this stuff coming up very quickly.
And can you also just real quick, briefly explain again how the 300 to 1,000% works? What triggers that and how it goes up and down?
So by going up means that your physical activity is consistent or increasing. So if it's consistent, it'll start to go up slower. But if it's increasing, it will go up faster. Now, if you begin to slow down your physical activity, then the mining power will begin to decrease.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure I was clear. Thank you.
Yep.
Awesome. All right. I think we're good. Roy Lean, you didn't raise your hand back up. I can ask you to unmute if you like. If not, there we go. I was going to say counting down. Go ahead, Roy Lean. Give us a quick question here. Thank you.
Yes, very quick. Miss Lynette, is there a chance for a new wallet beside MetaMask in the future?
You can use any DApp wallet that you want.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that is actually branded MoveQuest.
Oh, no.
No? Okay.
I do not want that responsibility.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. We're wrapping this up. Everybody raise their hand right at the end. Wow. Thanks, folks. But yeah, we're good. We're gonna be back. Lynette is an open book. She's very transparent. She's just a wealth of knowledge, and I can tell she loves doing what she does, and she always wants to share. And guess what? She's always in the Telegram. She's always in
I'm
the
not.
chats. Not always, but I mean the chats and whatnot. We're always posting things.
Telegram.
Yeah, you really do. But we always copy paste what you say, and then we put it in the Telegram. How about that? So we get it.
I can take the last 4 real quick if they're real
all
quick.
right. Okay.
Don't take any more.
I'll go ahead and
last
4, folks.
Sandy's.
Sandy, you're the last one. Go ahead, Laurie. Real quick. You can unmute, Laurie, I think. I think you can. All right, try it again. Go ahead. I'm playing tag here.
Hello.
There you go.
Okay, just a couple of things. Like if the price goes up to $1,000, nobody will be able to join because they won't be able to afford it, right?
That's when they'll have to lease.
Okay.
And this again plays into it's not a Ponzi or a pyramid scheme because you don't have to mint a miner to engage in the ecosystem. You will just connect your wallet to somebody who's got a miner available for lease, and then the smart contract will handle it from there. So you don't have to mint, you can lease. And so we don't have a barrier of entry in that regard. So the community can still increase and people can still can contribute to the ecosystem without having to mint a miner.
Interesting. And my other question is like the percentage of users who are in these calls and hearing this important stuff like don't sell if you don't have to, it's got to be super low. So the possibility of things going really bad because people don't hear this important information seems kind of large. And I've been in other apps that did these obnoxious messages that go across the screen, and you're always just, dismissing them. But like, it is useful to have the app make you read something.
Yeah,
You know what I
and we
mean?
will have that in MoveQuest as well, where you'll start getting notifications from us.
Yeah.
You'll start getting, messages that encourage you to do more. Oh, you've done 1,500 steps. Can you make it to,
Yeah.
1,750? So all of this stuff is in the MoveQuest
Good.
brand.
Yeah.
We didn't do a lot of that with the GetFit Mining because we knew that we
Yeah.
would be moving into a rebranded once we had all the
Totally.
testing done and we had all the
Yeah.
functionalities there. So you will
Cool.
see this stuff in the new app. And just to answer your questions, a lot of people can't make it to these calls because this is a
Yeah,
global project. So a
for
lot of
sure.
them are, like their day, it's way, early in the morning for them. But we do put them
Yeah.
up on the YouTube channels and they do get a lot of views. So
So
people do
somebody in the
watch
chat
them.
said this isn't being recorded. Is tonight being recorded?
Yes, of course. They're always
Oh, good.
recorded.
Okay. Okay, good. Yay. Awesome. And I would request that there like be a visual something in these notifications if they're really like, this will help the program succeed rather than, encouraging you to exercise. Because people just end up swiping them away and not listening or not paying attention. But there needs to be something like the pink ones are the ones you really need to read or something.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Give what's urgent. Yeah, I get
Yeah.
it. You're
Yeah.
right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mhm. Yeah, the new app's going to be a total different experience. It's amazing. All right, Judy, go ahead.
Hey guys, can you hear me okay?
Yep, we
can.
can.
Okay, first of all, thank you for taking my question. I'm going to make it real quick. Two quick questions. One, if one is able to download the app on a phone that does not yet have a SIM card in it, are we still able to mine if we're able to connect it to Wi-Fi to transmit the results to the blockchain?
Ooh, that's a good answer. Waleed would have to answer that one. That's a good question. I don't
Mhm.
know if he's here. I don't know if he's
As
here or
long as you
not.
have as long as you have a Wi-Fi connection, you're good.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. And my second question is, when the leasing comes out, and I realize you don't have a lot of information on that you're releasing at this point, someone who leases your miner, will they be able to upgrade it for you if they choose?
No,
If they
you have
decide,
to do
no?
that. No, and that will
Okay,
keep it competitive also on the marketplace because if somebody has upgraded their miner, let's say somebody has an Omega and somebody has an Alpha, somebody's going to connect to an Omega before they are an Alpha. But if there's not an Omega, they're going to go for the Alpha. And if there's not any Alphas, then they're going to go for the Ultras or the primaries. And so the person who is connecting to your miner, they have no control over that miner. The person who owns it will retain ownership of it, will retain control of it. Meaning, if I lease it out to you and you're not doing the physical activity and you're not submitting, I can cancel that. I can end that contract and I can add it to the marketplace so that somebody will use it.
okay, that is wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
See, Herschel, I can be brief.
All right. That's awesome. That was the last one because someone took the place, but I got a little alert there. So we're good for the night.
All right.
Appreciate you, Lynette, being on. This has been awesome. And
Somebody, let me just answer this one last question.
go
Why
ahead.
would we lease out our miners? Because you're going to charge a rental fee and it allows you that's your digital real estate. That allows you to charge a fee for somebody to use your miner. They can't afford to mint one. Maybe the price is too high. Now they're able to connect to your miner. You're charging a rental fee and they're able to mine the tokens. The smart contract will send you a claim button to collect your rental fee and we'll send them a claim button to collect their tokens that they've mined.
There we go.
Your fee will be based on whatever you want to charge. So we don't set those fees. Again, you're in total control. You set the fee and all the fees are going to be different on the marketplace. So people will be able to come and shop for the best deal. And that's going to keep it competitive. And it's also going to keep it from being, straight fee across the board. It's going to make people stay competitive in their pricing so they don't, well, as Harris would say, over gauge, but gouge on the pricing, so it's going to be fair that way, competitive, fair, and you're in total control. You manage the whole thing. You'll decide how you're going to get paid, what token you're going to take. Do you want it to be the MoveQuest token? Will it be USDT? And then the contract will send it to you.
Great job, everybody.
Yes.
I'm gonna go onboard somebody. I'm gonna go onboard somebody. I'll see you guys later.
That's the best thing. Hey, yeah, let's impact somebody. Let's go buy, hold, right? Let's go sell fairly. And let's look towards the future and support each other in this amazing platform. It's unprecedented what's happening, and Lynette's put together something that will never probably be done again. And it took some time to get here, but it's going to be definitely worth it. So appreciate everybody being on tonight. Mr. Crow, you got anything you want to add? I know we're on tomorrow. Mr. Ivy, you have anything to add? We're going to be back at it tomorrow. Same thing, Project 10,000. We're at about 5,000 or so. We are climbing that side of that cliff, or side of that mountain. We're getting there. We're going to be at the tip top here soon. I'm looking forward to that. And this is exciting. So
well, come out tomorrow morning. We have Miss Marnita Costa doing the presentation, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m.
Awesome.
Pacific tomorrow morning.
Let's get
Awesome.
it. Awesome stuff. Anything, Mr. Crow?
Let's see that market value increase.
Yeah, let's see it. Everybody go let everybody know. The recording will be dropped into the Telegram.
As soon as I can get it uploaded.
We get it uploaded.
We'll get it uploaded. Other than that,
you can stay up all night taking notes too, since y'all so excited. All right. We love it. That's good.
Other than that, we also have training tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, same link. For anybody that has questions, issues, hurdles, or needs help onboarding, you can come to that as well. Other than that, we want to thank everybody for coming out. God bless. Good night.
Good night, everybody.